Richard's wondering why his wife doesn't want to have sex anymore. So there are so many different types of women out there. And honestly, one of the reasons that I stopped focusing on women's health years ago was because I noticed that there are two different types. There is one type, and ladies, you may fall into this category, get married, have kids, and decide, I've had my kids. I mean, what do I really need to continue having a bunch of sex for, right? And sometimes those ladies don't really equate sex with their husband as a natural need. So one thing that I really think that it's important to say here is that for some people, some men and some women, sex is a need. And when I say that it is a need, it is because sex makes them feel like themselves. So they need it. So if they don't have it, if you don't have it, you don't feel like yourself, the day drags on, the boss or the people at work or your own business, they get on your nerves to a new level, and you just don't feel like yourself. So unfortunately, people who are stuck in relationships like that, now they've got to try to figure out other ways to feel sexually connected to themselves. So they might cheat. They might be talking to other people on Instagram. They might, be seeking attention at church or Home Depot or wherever it is because they're just not really getting it at home. So working with women who have taken that stance on it, like I've had my kids, I'm really not into sex anymore, is really difficult. But then there's the other side of it where women, maybe don't have anything against sex and haven't made that decision, but have decided that they can give or take, leave it or take it. It's just not really that important to them. So I would love to be able to be at these premarital counseling sessions where we get to the point where we tell women and we tell men that sex is such an important part of a healthy relationship and marriage that even when it's not working down there, we've got to figure out a way to be intimate. Otherwise, somebody is feeling not just not desired, but they're feeling less than a person. They're feeling less than the person that they felt like they were when they met you. And that's where the problem is. So depending on where the lady is in this trajectory, 16 years of being with somebody means that now the mystery surrounding the person is gone. You know what their breath smells like. You know what it smells like when they go take a dump. You know their fears. You know their weaknesses, and so on and so forth. So in a relationship that's been there for 16 years and you're not having sex anymore, one of the first things that you have to do is bring the sexy back. And bringing sexy back isn't necessarily like, what can I wear to bring the sexy back? But bringing the sexy back is, what can I do to create some mystery in the relationship and some excitement? So you got to start there, because now what we need to do is we need to help both of you change your perspective about your partner, because your partner started out as being this sexy, mysterious person, and now they're about as sexy as a plasma screen TV, when now all the TVs are LED, right? It's just like not exciting anymore. So first of all, we need to find the excitement so that we can raise the dopamine levels in both her brain and his brain towards each other. We got to figure out a way to make you exciting to me again and me exciting to you again. That's first and foremost, because no Viagra, no lubricant or anything can create that. So once we can decide how can we make each other sexy to each other again, now we got to reconnect sexually. Because honestly, what you liked back in the day has changed. She might have liked nipple play, but now she feels like her nipples are sagging down and she really doesn't want you to see them or touch them. So now we have to figure out, you have to evolve your sexual style to meet your partner's new desires. So maybe this was your thing back in the day. Well, maybe now it needs to be this. An upward motion with it. So you've got to relearn what she likes, because sometimes your partner is avoiding sex because they don't like it anymore. They can't tell you what you're not doing or what you're not doing right because they don't know how to say it. So sometimes you just need a little bit of, hey, what do you like sexually? I mean, things have changed. I don't really know. Every time we try to have sex, it just doesn't work out right. what types of things do you like? And she might be like, I don't know what I like. I don't, I don't really know. Well, then it's on her to figure out what she likes. And so how do we figure out what we like? We explore our own bodies and we turn ourselves on to figure out how to tell you to turn me on. When it comes to trying to get your partner to want to engage a little bit more in sex, first of all, we got to get to the bottom of why they don't want to do it anymore. Is it because they've got dryness down there or some type of issue down there? Or is it because maybe something happened in the past, you hurt their feelings and they haven't gotten over that? Is it because they've just decided, hey, we've had kids, we just don't need to do that anymore? What is the problem? So get to the source of what the problem is and don't stop until she tells you or he tells you what the problem is. And once you know that problem, now you can put together a plan as to how to eradicate it. Because, too, if it gets to the point where they're like, listen, I don't like sex, I'm never going to like it, I don't want to have sex anymore. So if you want that, you're going to have to go somewhere else. Well, now that's on the table. Now the elephant in the room has come out and said it. So once it's been said, now we can deal with it and make a plan for what that looks like.